What if I told you one of the most complex songs on Sgt. Pepper was literally thrown into the air and taped back together at random? In 1967, John Lennon wanted to record the smell of a circus. To do it, the Beatles had to destroy their own recordings just to see what would happen. This is the chaotic genius of being for the benefit of Mr. Kite. It all started in an antique shop in Kent. John Lennon bought a Victorian-era circus poster from 1843. If you read the lyrics to the song, you're basically reading that poster. From the Hendersons to Pablo Fonque's Fair, almost every word was taken directly from that piece of paper. But John didn't just want the words. He told producer George Martin, "I want a steam organ atmosphere. I want to be able to smell the sawdust on the floor." George Martin had a problem. Actual steam organs, calliopes, were massive, out of tune, and impossible to get into Abbey Road. They tried using traditional organs, but it sounded too clean. It didn't have that dizzying, swirling feeling of a fairground. That's when Martin decided to stop being a producer and start being a sound surgeon. He gathered every recording he could find of Victorian calliopes and steam whistles and lined them up on the studio floor. Martin took a pair of scissors and literally cut those tapes into small sections, about 1 foot long each. He told the engineer, Jeff Emmerich, "Cut them up into pieces, throw them in the air, and pick them up at random." They tossed the scraps of tape into the air like confetti. Then they taped them back together in whatever order they found them. When they played the tape back, it was a mess of backwards whistles, distorted organs, and haunting echoes. It was exactly what John wanted. But they didn't stop there. To make the listener feel dizzy, they layered these random loops over a heavy, thumping bass line and John's nasal, detached vocals. During the instrumental break, the random tapes swirl around the stereo field. It sounds like a carousel spinning out of control. It was the first time a pop band had used aleatoric music, the art of chance, to create a hit record. They proved that sometimes the best way to find a melody is to break it first. Mr. Kite remains a masterpiece of studio craft. It showed the world that a recording studio wasn't just a place to capture a performance, it was an instrument itself. Pure randomness turned into musical magic.